special.
Do you know what it takes to be a boss? I don't think you really knowin' what it costs. You want the money and the fame just to floss. And if they ever catch you slipping, that's your loss. Cross state lines with it till it flew back. Just move, not checkers, thought you knew that. You ain't earn your stripes, you ain't sacrifice. Wanna gamble with your life, heard take the dice.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to Distinguished Gentlemen. I'm your host, Deshaun. And on Distinguished Gentlemen, we talk about style, strength, characteristics, and also intelligence to be able to build the best version of ourselves so we can go play this game called life. And how we typically go about playing this game called life is we look at each subject and break them down in 4 different perspectives. Because we don't want to get lost only into one perspective. In order for us to be able to fully comprehend and play, we need to understand how to play. And those 4 perspectives break that down on how to play this game called life. So I'm gonna list to you the 4 perspectives in hierarchy and how we phase up to the top of the top, the cream of the crop, you know what I'm saying, to be enlightened. The first phase that we need to fully understand and comprehend is called the law of human nature. And the law of human nature is our animal-like instincts, our emotions, our impulsive decisions, and why we make those decisions and where they stem from, you feel me? The next phase that we're gonna talk about is the ghost law. The things that you cannot see that has a huge impact on your life. You need to be aware of these things because they ultimately influence you to make the decisions that you make. You can use these to your advantage, which rolls over into the devil's law. The devil's law is achieving your deep desires, however, they just come at a cost. If we are not aware of these desires, the cost can be very critical. And also, this rolls over into understanding the cream of the crop, which is mastery. Mastery is when you are fully aware and comprehend how to use these things to your advantage and also when they are being used against you. You need to be aware of this so you can finally go out into this world and play this game called life so you can be fully prepared and equipped for the things that you need to know and also how to apply them. You feel what I'm saying? So that's that. Every subject that we're going to talk about, we're going to end it with those 4 basic points of views, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we also talk about style. Let's get into it, you feel me? Your boy, I look good today. I feel good today. I smell good today. Let's talk about how I look. I told y'all I'm a simplistic type of guy. I like the essentials. When it comes to fashion, I like simple stuff. I like staple pieces though to bring out my style. I'm a essential, simplistic type of guy. So obviously, your boy got a white tee on. Came to y'all direct. We gonna step it up a notch. You just gotta stay tuned to it. You get what I'm saying? However, to talk about my style, to turn the fashion into my own personal style, I got a watch on, nice ring on, herringbone chain because I was born in the 90s. I gotta stay true to it. I ain't new to it. And then I also gotta represent with my Atlanta hat, A-frame hats. I love A-frame hats because they complement my face. So that's my style. I feel good. I walked today, got my 4 miles in early this morning, you feel me? Rise up, meditated, got my life right, you know what I'm saying? Put all that together. But then also I smell good too. Your boy, I'm huge on perfumes. We're gonna educate ourselves to go from cologne to perfumes because there is a hierarchy. So with that being said, the parfum of the day, because I like to do parfums of the day. And when we do parfums of the day, we're starting low budget and work our way up to the top, the cream of the crop. You know what I'm saying? However, just because it's low budget don't necessarily mean you drop on quality. You just have to be educated to know where to look to get the same quality of the high ticket prices. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, the cologne or perfume of the day that we're going to talk about is Imperium. Imperium, man, this stuff smells so good. It actually reminds me of a more mature version of Aventus Creed. So with that being said, yo, check this out. Oof, oof. I really like this. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, it's one of those ones where you want to wear it to impress. And there's a difference between impressing somebody and attracting somebody. I'm gonna educate y'all on the experience that you give off based off the perfumes that you choose over time. However, I'm gonna show you how to properly put on the perfume that we are wearing today, because I see a lot of people put it on in a way where it actually goes against the thing that they want to achieve, which is the experience that they want to give off. You feel me? So with that being said, let's talk about it. So how you properly put on perfumes are in certain zones. You know what I'm saying? So the first zone that we're going to talk about is the wrist area. How you do it is you spray right here, switch, spray right here. Don't rub. Do not rub. The reason why you don't rub is because you're going to break the seal. It has to sit in your skin in order for it to be very potent. If you rub it in, you're actually breaking the seal. But the reason why you spray in your wrist is because of far encounters. When you shaking a man's hand, this is the way that he's gonna get a whiff of your cologne. And then you also shake his hand and you let him know, look him directly in the eye as a man. And you feel me? I'm here now. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's where you spray right there. The next zone that we're gonna spray is our shoulders, right? The reason why we spray our shoulders is because this is for mid encounters. Mid encounters are the people who you give like church hugs, or when you dap your boy up, you feel me, y'all get close, or just hugs in general. Those are mid encounters. Or somebody standing next to you in the club, you know what I'm saying? They're standing next to you in the club and you talking to her, you know what I'm saying? You're not really that right there yet. You ain't sealed the deal yet. You know what I'm saying? You ain't hitting a home run, you just hitting the first base. She gotta be able to smell you feel me? This is shoulders. And also, you spray it in this shoulder area so you can smell your cologne too. The reason why most people can't smell their colognes is because they spray it in the nose zone areas. The nose zone area is from your neck all the way down to the bottom part of your chest, right? You don't spray in these areas because you'll eventually get used to the smell. Your body will adapt to what's in front of it. So the smell that's in front of you, you don't spray right there. Where you spray it when it comes to your body is your upper ab and your lower ab, right? This is also for mid encounters. Your clothes will smell like you. You layer your cologne based, or your perfumes based off of the intensity of the perfume. You go from perfume all the way down to cologne, right? The next spot is the intimate spot, the close encounter spots. When I say close, I mean real close, the more intimate. So this is where you spray it. You know what I'm saying? You spray behind the neck, right? The reason why you spray behind the neck is because when you get real close, nose sits behind the neck. So you got your girl, you know what I'm saying? Her nose sit right here, her mouth sit right here. Remember, this is a nose zone. So if she kiss you, you're not gonna taste like cologne, but you're gonna smell like cologne or perfume. You feel what I'm saying? We wanna use the word perfume. I'm gonna catch myself, so yeah. So with that being said, that's how you properly put on cologne or perfume. When you wear perfume, it helps you control the experience that you are trying to give off. Because again, either you're trying to attract or you're trying to impress. Obviously, for gentlemen, we want to attract women, impress men. There are two types of colognes, or there are different type of colognes that achieve these. Now, you can do a combination of both based off the Venn diagram. Y'all know what I do. There's a combination of these. Colognes that sit, or perfumes that sit in between. They attract and impress. You need to be able to identify those based off of the experience that you would like to give off. So with that being said, man, let's tap into it. Thank you. All right, so now that I talk about that, now let's get into the topic of discussion. I'm going to give you what you came here for. Y'all seen the title. You clicked on it. It's not about if you're smart. It's about how you're smart. Learn how to learn. Oh, I gotta catch myself. I was about to slip up. Before we get deep sea dive into this subject, I gotta break it down like how my teacher breaks it down to me. See, I'm over stumbling over my words because I almost messed up. You have to take out your pen and your pad and take notes. So it can be something that you know and not something that you heard. You also want to be able to understand time and space. What do I mean by time and space? We like to call these the reporter's questions. You break down each subject based off of the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and last but not least, the how. This is how you fully comprehend and understand each subject that we are going to talk about. And today's subject is basically about learning. And people typically teach you in three different perspectives. You have teachers who teach basically how you learn based off your learning style on the subject. You have instructors who teach you the do and the don'ts, the how and the how not, basically the rules to the game. If I'm going to use an example, a card game like Uno, there's rules that come with the game. In order for you to be able to understand how to play the game, you have to read the rules. If you don't read the rules, you typically make mistakes. Those are instructions on how to play. Then you also have the projector, the person who only tells you based off their experience on said subject. They really can't talk about it in depth because they only go off of their own personal experience. They typically use the terms my truth, or I can only say it based off of what I know, or they put themselves in the category or subject that you are talking about. These people typically project onto you, and they can either mislead you or misguide you based off their own personal experience, because we all have our own perspective on life. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's that. So take out them pens and them pads and most definitely take notes, because there will be things that you need to jot down. You feel me? We're educating you while also entertaining you within the process. Hopefully I'm giving y'all some life. You know what I'm saying? This is just practice for me. So when I finally get my kids or my children, I can be able to say, teach them based off how they learn. You feel me? So with that being said, what do I mean by it's not if you're smart and intelligent, it's about how you're smart and intelligent. Well, let's break down the difference between smart and intelligent. Smart is being able to receive information and then regurgitate that information on a different time. You can obtain that information. You feel me? Intelligence is using your natural ability that you already have and then obtaining the information and using it to your advantage. That's the difference. We're going to have the definitions down below. So, with that being said, you need to learn your learning styles. Your learning style is basically your superpower. Your learning style is your superpower on how you obtain information and also how you apply that information as well. So with that being said, what are the learning styles? The learning style is a visual learner, an audio learner, a hands-on learner, a photographic memory type learner, and then you also have the learner who has to be legit. They only learn in the moment, right? And then you have a combination of these two as well. Some people can use some of these to their advantage. With that being said, these are your superpowers on how to obtain the information that's being told to you. So, where did I get this information from? Because I want you guys to be able to fully comprehend and understand where I'm coming from. Where did I obtain this information? There's two books I want you guys to check out. It's called Weapons of Mass Instruction is the negative side on the information, how the school system designed you to be programmed a certain way to get a specific outcome based off of how they teach. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the opposite book, which is called The Way of the Intelligent Rebel, where it teaches you how to be able to use your learning style to your advantage, to be able to show you the ins and outs of everything. This is when you fully comprehend and understand the 80-20 rule, how to be able to keep what works and separate what don't work, basically. However, these books have the same type of formula to them. The narrative might be written a little bit differently, but you have to be able to decipher and have some discernment to be able to say, okay, what's the intent for this book? What's the intent for this book? What's the similarities to this book? And what are they talking about? They're both talking about education and how to be able to learn. However, this style has a way of learning based off of what they want to program you to become like. And this side has to be able to use your learning style to your own personal advantage to be able to get a specific outcome. I want you guys to go check that out. Here's another example that I want to give you. The other example is they have a new movie out called Supercell. Supercell is about eugenics and epigenetics. What is eugenics? Eugenics is you have positive eugenics and you have negative eugenics. Basically breeding. Positive eugenics is to breed for the benefit to make these genetics stronger. Negative eugenics is to make the genetics weaker or eliminate them. You feel what I'm saying? Within Supercell, they got their specific powers from their parents because the two parents came together and one of them had sickle cell, which ultimately gave the children superpowers. But the literature term for this is called eugenics. Those children gained their superpower based off of their learning styles. Their learning style had to trigger their powers through epigenetics. Epigenetics is when you unlock something or a trait that was passed down to you through your DNA, right? If you pay attention to the story, each person had to go through something traumatic for them to unlock their power. However, let's bring it out of the fantasy world. Again, your superpower is your learning style and how you go about playing this game called life to using it to your advantage. Is how you display your superpower, how you display your learning style, how you obtain information. You feel what I'm saying? This is being displayed and told to you everywhere you go. This is the basics that you need to learn. How do you learn? How can you use your superpowers to your advantage? Another example of this that is being shown to you and told to you is X-Men. We just saw Deadpool and Wolverine just came out, you feel me? Logan is a mutant. He got his mutative powers through an X gene that was passed down to him based off his parents. So how he go about attacking the world is his way of playing this game called life. Let's take it out of the fantasy world and apply it to yourself. How do you use your learning style to your advantage? Are you a visual learner? Are you an audio learner? Are you a hands-on learner? Are you a memory learner? And are you a combination of those learners? Are you in the moment type? You feel what I'm saying? If I have to say Wolverine is more so a hands-on learner. However, if you pay attention to another form of learning is your senses. This is where we go into the 1 through 3 phase of child development, where I was talking about on the last episode. Because this episode complements the last episode. All right, so let's break this down from the 4 perspectives. You feel what I'm saying? The first perspective that we're going to break this down is the law of human nature. When it comes to learning styles and not knowing something, it is human nature for us to make mistakes. We will run into frustration. We will run into irritation. But this is where most people make their mistakes because of their making impulsive decisions. They don't know how to manage their emotions. When you learn how to be aware of these things, you typically learn how to take a deep breath and use it to your advantage. Now, be aware of it within the process of you learning a new skill set. You all, gentlemen, will start off like a child. You have to be aware of this phase when it comes to this, because this is where you make the most critical mistakes. This is where you make mistakes that you cannot recover from because you're at your most vulnerable state. You don't know. And it's okay that you don't know, but use that not knowing to your advantage. Use it. Be quiet. If you pay attention to babies when they first are developed and they're trying to be aware of their environment, they are very quiet. They pay attention to detail. You have to learn how to pay attention to detail. You feel me? The ghost law. The things that have an impact on your life that you are not seeing. This is the time where you use the ghost law to your advantage when it comes to learning something new, developing your learning style, learning how to learn. Go behind closed doors where people cannot see you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not aware of this process, but at the end of the day, seeds are developed in dirt. You cannot see them when they are fully developed and sprout out to become a tree and stuff like that. You have to be aware of this. It's okay for you to become a ghost. If you do not become a ghost, there are things that are out here that will influence you based off your learning style to do certain things, to make certain decisions. So you have to become a ghost and now develop and be aware of this process. Because now that you are in the process of learning, you have to go out and practice, and you will make mistakes. But the mistakes shouldn't be so critical to the point where you can't recover, or impulsive to the point where you can't recover. They should be critical to be able to get feedback. You feel me? The devil's law within this learning style, with developing your learning style, is, what is it gonna cost you to learn this thing that you want to do? These skills that you want to do, to use your superpowers to achieve what you want to do. It's going to cost. You have to make a decision. What are you willing to pay? It costs time to pay attention. Ultimately, you will make mistakes. You have to be okay with those mistakes. You feel me? But you are trying to achieve the desire. So use it to your advantage, man. A lot of us typically don't use our deepest desires to our advantage because we want to make impulsive decisions and not get delayed gratification, but instant gratification. Let's talk about the devil's law from what's out here to influence you. I'll give you something right now, convenient, where it seems as if you are achieving what you want. The whole time in the back end, you're really not achieving it. You really didn't develop it within self. You got it from somewhere else. However, using this to your advantage is delegating tasks that you are not fully developed in. Delegate the task. When it comes to entrepreneurship, you probably can't build websites. Delegate that task. Again, it comes at a cost. You want this task to be achieved. However, what is it going to cost you? You have to pay in order for you to play. You feel me? You most definitely got to pay in order for you to play. But that's what it costs you. You feel what I'm saying? Mastery is fully understanding and comprehend how to be able to use your learning style to your advantage. Know what phase you are in when it comes to learning. You have to be aware of the phases of learning. You have the 4 phases of life. I like to break it down from this perspective. You have the spring phase where you're planting seeds. This is equal to the 1 through 3 phase, which we are currently talking about. You have the summer phase where now it has sprung. You bear fruit from the seed that you planted. This is where you go out and you go practice. You go out, you go practice, you go try. And the things that work, you keep, you celebrate them. Then you go down to the fall phase. The things that do not work, you get rid of. It's okay for you to get rid of those things that don't work. You have to be aware of the things that you get rid of so you can make room for more. Then you have the winter phase. This is the phase where you need to become a ghost. This is the phase where you basically, okay, cool. Now that I've gotten rid of those things, I have to grieve the things that did not work. You have to become unseen. You have to go through the withdrawal phase. They did not work. It's okay. Sometimes we emotionally connect to the things that did not work. So if we make impulsive decisions because we didn't achieve it right way. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Again, in order for you to become the master of this, we all go through these phases of learning. You have to learn, practice, unlearn, get rid of. Throw it in the trash. Repeat. If we're looking at this from a yearly calendar, if you pay attention to what I'm saying in the phases of developing children and also the calendar years, the 4 seasons of life or a calendar year, you have the spring, the summer, the winter, the fall. That equals up to 12 months in a year. What did I say? From 0 through 12, these are the phases: 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, 10 through 12. 13 is really the hidden number. Ethiopia moves off a calendar of 13 months. On the West, they use 12 months. Okay, that's fine. That's the devil's law. Cool. However, to triumph this, I'm going to use this to my advantage and comprehend how to be able to use the phases of learning to my advantage. You have to know that this is how you become a master at this game called life. This is how you become a master student, because we all are still learning. Personally, I'm personally still learning this. This is just practice for me. So I go back, I watch, I learn, I unlearn, and repeat. Learn, practice, things that don't work, unlearn. Once I finally unlearn them, I have to get rid of it. Mentally disconnect, emotionally disconnect, physically disconnect. This is the withdrawal phase. You have to withdraw from the things that did not learn. This is the transition time. A lot of us are not aware of the transition. The transitions are the most important. These are the walls that connect everything. These are the implied lines that connect everything. These are the dots. Each phase is a dot. And you can stack. This is where your father's supposed to come into play and teach you some form of structure, gentlemen. You have to be aware of these, gentlemen, because ultimately you will become a father if that's what you choose. And a lot of us are still in the human nature side where you make impulsiveness, and now ultimately it costs you. And now you're a father indirectly. And if you become an inactive father, understand, that's where that video come into play. Well, that video come into play. Pop up right there, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all know what I always say, man. Together we stand, divided we fall. Until we meet again, I'll holler at y'all. Ooh, that boy. Yeah. Oh, let's restart. I was reading I got a meeting today that I gotta go to. Business, your boy, man. We're getting active out here. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be talking about this stuff and not applying it to my life. You feel me? I can't tell y'all like, you know, go out here, go do this if I'm not applying it myself. Cause obviously I'm trying to win in this game called life too. You feel me? So I gotta apply it. I just don't personally tell people what I got going on. This is where I use the ghost law to my advantage. But I digress. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna use this clip, put it at the end.